Well, hello again, girlfriends and guy friends. It's Doris from Art with Doris. And I promise that I will be making that geode without resin to show you all. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video. So stay tuned. And don't forget, your funny story is coming up at the end. Okay, you guys, we're going to start out with spraying the back of our canvas with water. And it's just to kind of tighten up the canvas before we get started. Then I'm going to grab a sponge brush and use gesso to coat the canvas as a base before we get started. Always coat your canvases with gesso before you begin to paint. And make sure you keep your strokes going one way. You know, of course, either horizontally or vertically, however you choose. But give it a nice, good coat of gesso, and then you're going to let that dry. It usually will take about 20 or 30 minutes or so to dry. Get your canvas prepared to start painting. And then I'm going to be drawing out my lines for my geode with a pencil. And it's perfectly okay to get your lines where you like them when you're making your geode, so you'll have a guide to kind of go by of where you want your geode's lines to go. You know, if you've made a little mistake or a little error, just get an eraser, erase, define your geode lines. Then we're going to start with our secret special sauce for laying down our lines. And it's just a mixture of glitter and Elmer's clear glue. You got to use the Elmer's clear glue. And that is our secret sauce for making geodes without resin. And as you can see, the thickness of the lines, they need to be fairly thick so that they will stay in place. And I'm just using a squeeze bottle. I got a bowl and I put glitter in the bowl, and then I slowly added my clear Elmer's glue, making sure that it's thick enough so that it won't drip. Add that clear Elmer's glue in there slowly so that you will get the proper thickness for your lines. And some people like to use a cake piping bag to do their lines. Some people I've seen use a Baggie, and they cut the corner out of the Baggie. But just so you have a nice squeeze bottle, you transfer that glue mixture from the cup into a squeeze bottle of some kind so that you can have complete control over your lines. The next thing I'm going to do is add silver glitter, doing it the very same way. Get a bowl, put your glitter in, and then slowly add that secret sauce, which is clear Elmer's glue. And I know some people or some artists, like to keep their secrets to themselves, but I'm not like that. I want you all to know how to make these non-resin geodes. So I don't mind sharing this with you at all. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. You know, I have no problem with that. So that's what I'm doing here, is just adding my lines with that mixture of glitter and clear Elmer's glue. And take your time with this. There's no, rush that needs to happen. Just take your time and get your lines where you want them. Next, I'm going to be painting the colors that I want for my geo, and I chose a nice vibrant blue for this geode. And all I'm doing is kind of tapping down my paint onto the canvas and laying out my desired design for the blue that's going to be in my geode. I didn't do it this time, but to make your geode more vibrant, I would let all this dry. Once you got your paint down, let all this dry overnight, and then add a second coat of your blue or whatever the color is of your choice, so that your geode will be nice and vibrant and have a beautiful color to it. That's what I'm doing here, is going ahead and putting on my color that I want for my geode. And like I said, just tap, tap, tap it into the areas that you want to make your geode. And if you choose, you can put different colors in there, whatever color that you want. You can just add it to your board to make your beautiful non-resin geodes. And like I said, I would let this dry overnight and then put another coat of the color and go from there. I'm just adding a little detail on the edges of my canvas. And then you'll see that I'm painting the edges of my board the same color of the blue. Now, even if you don't, or you forget to do the sides of your board, you can always go back later, color in the sides of your board, and just make sure that every white space on your board is covered on the sides to give you a nice, clean, crisp, professional look to your geodes. And that's what I've done. There you go. All sides covered. So then we're going to move on to the next step after this, and that is to let the whole thing dry. So now the board has dried. And you see that cup there? That is a cup of my drug of choice, which is Fireglass, but feel free to use crushed glass, faux gems, whatever you choose to give your geode a beautiful look with the stones and the gems. I put that clear Elmer's glue in there, and I'm laying down my Fireglass, and they're all sticky. Make sure that every single piece of glass is sticky, because that's what's going to adhere it to the canvas. And y'all excuse my big old arms. I promise I'll get better at this. But, you know, the important thing is for you to see the process. So that's what we're doing here. I'm just laying down all my stones, and all of them are pretty sticky with the glue. Try not to put too much glue in there. Like I said, a little at a time when you're working with that clear Elmer's glue. You just want every stone to have some glue on it so that the stones will stick to each other. You know, and you can also lay down your clear glass, and then over the top of that, you can put your crushed glass, or vice versa, however you want it. I've got a mixture of white Fireglass, blue Fireglass, and the gold Fireglass. Now here you'll see me with a little cup of blue, thick glitter and Elmer's glue mix. I just wanted to give my geode a little texture, so I'm just adding a little bit of the glue glitter mix to each corner of my geode. It's totally up to you what kind of design you want, but I just wanted you to see, you know, how I'm giving my geode a little texture. The glitter glue mix is extra thick, kind of like peanut butter. Now I'm going back with my silver glitter and kind of defining the lines, and I'm coloring in with glitter the white spaces on that canvas board, just to make sure that there's not a lot of white of the canvas showing in my geode. And just like I said, take your time with this, and you know, cover that white canvas area with glitter, so as there's not a lot of white, you know, showing up. And down the line, we're going to do the same thing with the stones, because as you can see, the stones there on the left corner, you can see the white canvas through them. So you're going to need to add more stones to kind of cover that white of the canvas. For me, I used a hot glue gun to add more stones here and there. You know, you can do the hot glue gun. Make sure it's a clear glue stick, and you'll see why later. But make sure you use the clear glue gun glue sticks for the geodes. You can also use the stone glue, Elmer's glue mix as well. But the main thing is just to kind of cover the white areas of the canvas. You see how the white area of the canvas is disappearing because I'm adding that glitter glue mix to them. Now that everything is dry, you see I defined my lines with that glitter, and then you'll see that there's still space where you can see the white of the canvas. And there's some around the corner that you can still see, so I'll be filling that in as well. But, you know, just make sure that when you add your stones or your glass, that you try to cover as much as possible with your glass or stones by using more stones and Elmer's clear glue, or you can use a hot glue gun to add more stones. All right, girlfriends and guy friends, this is the end result of the geode. I wanted you to get a nice look at it, and I'm going to kind of go over some of the detailing that I did. But I filled in some of the spaces with the stones. I gave it some defining lines, as you can see. I also had a row of that liquid gold, and I put it along here, all the way along here. And while the liquid gold was wet, I added glitter, as you can see, and it's just shimmering. I also put a crystal quartz on there, really big crystal quartz on there. Did a little design on the edge of it to make all the Fireglass come on down to the edge of the board. So they curve around the board. And you see where those 3 round stones are? I made a little mistake, and I guess this is a teachable moment. I grabbed the hot glue gun, because that's how I put down the extra Fireglass to, fill it in. I grabbed a hot glue stick that was not clear. You could kind of see when I attached the stones, extra stones on there, it kind of dried almost like white candles. So I was like, ugh. So I had to kind of go back and fill in it somehow. So I just kind of embellished it a little bit so you couldn't see all the white. But, it looks fine now. As you could, so I did go ahead and fill in with more glitter. Got the lines defined there as well. And also when I thought I had the composition where I wanted it, and by the way, I used the paint pens to make the defining lines along there and stuff. I just used a paint pen, and it worked out fine. I'm pretty happy with it. The finishing touch was to put a coat of Liquitex, 2 coats actually, of Liquitex varnish. And I like to get the high gloss varnish. I don't know if it shows up there, but I put that on each coat and let it dry. And then I went back and used that other varnish, the clear liquid varnish, and I put that also on top of it, just 1 coat. And I just kind of patted it on there as opposed to stroking it like paint, because I didn't want it to have, any paint lines or anything like that. So I went ahead and just tapped on a clear coat of that varnish. And it looks wonderful. Thank y'all. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. All right, you guys, it's story time. So I'm taking an international flight from Los Angeles to Frankfurt, Germany, when my sister was overseas. She married a military man, so they were overseas in Germany. The flight was very long for any of you who have been on an international flight. And all I know, it was day when I got on, and then it got night. And we flew through the night, and it was day again. In the morning, the stewardesses were coming down the aisles, bringing towels, hot, warm towels. And so, I noticed a man across the aisle who had the towel, and he was kind of washing under his arms or whatever, and so I just kind of glanced at him. And so as my stewardess came down my aisle, she has a beautiful tray with a hot towel on it. And so, I grabbed the towel and I commenced to, wash under my arms with it, And she screams, "Oh, no, monsieur, no, it's for your face. So I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Sorry, And so she tries to snatch the towel back, and, and she ends up giving me another one. But I didn't know. So that's my funny story for today. Okay, guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to be doing a giveaway, a signed geode by me. It will be a contest that will be for U.S. residents only, and for subscribers who have watched the video and at least shared 1 time. How you enter is just email me at artwithdoris@yahoo and let me know that you would like to be in the contest. And I'll be using one of those spin to win apps to draw the name of the winner. So email me and let me know you want to enter the contest. The deadline for the contest is to be announced at a later date. So I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. I'll have more videos to come. I hope you really enjoyed doing the video, and I really hope you enjoyed my Geode Without Resin. I look forward to some of you doing this project, and then email me and send me a copy of your geodes. And if you would like, I will post them on my Facebook group, Art with Doris, to show everybody how beautiful your non-resin geodes turn out. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you on the next video of Art with Doris. Bye-bye.